Morning, ladies and gents. Yesterday was the first day of a new adventure. I'm gonna say today is really the first day, but she came home yesterday. Let's go see what we got. Oh yeah. 1967 CJ5, and she's definitely going to be a project, so let's see what we got ourselves into. Like I said, she ain't the cleanest thing in the world, but I mean, I got it for a price I couldn't pass it up. It's got the V6 Buick engine in it, and the first known issue was this here. Wow. Well then, the guy told me one day it just wouldn't start, and he said no, it's got a good battery, but it's turning over. It didn't turn over yesterday, so maybe we won't be changing a starter today, but let me go get some fresh gas. Wow. Score. So now that I know that she wants to try to start, which the last owner said it ran fine, maybe a little bit issues with the car, but kind of change of plans. I guess I'm going to drain the fuel, put some fresh gas in it, and see what she does. I know my second plan for the day was to go through the brakes, because apparently those don't work either, so we'll put some fresh gas and see how it goes from there. Luckily, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in there, so hopefully this will go quick and easy. Me and gasoline have kind of a mixed past. Once you drain it out, it doesn't look like all that bad of gas, but rather just put fresh in it and know what I have, rather than run a bunch of garbage into a carburetor. While that's draining down, I decided I'm going to take these hideous headlights off the bumper, and they're not even like, why post one on the inner fender and the other on the outer fender? Makes no sense to me, but this thing's got to go. So I got all of the old fuel leaked out. I'm about to run to town. I decided, since we got a potpourri of different lug nuts on these old wheels, that I'm gonna take one of the wheels to Schwabe, see if they would have some more appropriate lug nuts that don't require these washers behind them. I don't think that that would be something that would normally be done with these types of wheels, but you can see we got a security or nut that I do not have the key for, but I have a 5/8 socket. It's just a little too small, but just kind of angle it around where you can feel it catching a little bit. Beat it on there. Break it loose. So I'm going to pull one of these wheels off and go try to find some lug nuts, get some fresh gas, see if she wants to run for us. Alright, just got back from running around town, getting everything I need. Started turning into the brakes. Went to AutoZone. Apparently you can get the rear wheel cylinders, which of course they did not have in stock. But it doesn't seem like anyone carries the front, so I think I'm just going to tune those up and clean them up as good as I can, try to bleed them. So the previous owner said the brakes stopped working, but he also told me that the thing wouldn't turn over. Gotta couple gallons of gasoline. Got all the old gas out. So we'll go ahead and fill her up, turn the key, and see what happens. Alright, fresh gas in. Let's see what she wants to do. Sounds a little noisy in the lifters. Well, she's running. Alright, well, we got her running. Now I'm gonna see what I can do with these brakes. Like I said, they're actually not in horrible shape. I mean, the wheel cylinders look like old pieces of garbage, but I guess I'll have to see about replacing those in the future. For now, I'm just going to go through, clean everything up, put some white lithium grease to make sure everything's functioning well. I don't see the cylinders leaking as of right now, but I mean, there's also probably hardly any fluid in it, so I will get everything cleaned up, put it all back together, and top off the master cylinder and bleed the brakes, see if we can get these things working. General rule of thumb, you always want to take one side apart and leave the other one intact, but I've got it on video. If I can't figure out how something goes back together, then I can always just review the video. But you can look at your springs. They're basically trying to hold everything together, and then when you push on the brake, it pushes brake fluid through the system, pushes these pistons out, which expands the shoes inside of the drum. Friction stops the wheel turning. So let's take it apart, clean everything up. We'll hit the drum with some sandpaper to take any glazing off of it that it might have. And like I said, we'll lube everything up and put it all back together, and then bleed the brakes. One last thing I'll mention, this little star wheel here. I pulled this little inspection plug out of the back right here. I don't know if you can see that, where my finger's at there. Pulled that guy out because I had a hard time getting this drum off. And this was made so that you could get into the back and twist this with like a screwdriver, or if you have a specific tool for it, a screwdriver works fine. Twist it, and that will allow this to collapse, letting the shoes come in, and then you can get the drum off. I ended up having to beat on this guy with a hammer a little bit, and the drum itself, to get the thing to come loose. But anyways, I'll do a time lapse. You can watch me take it apart and clean it up. If I think of anything else to mention while I'm doing it, we'll do so. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you whenever I get a chance. So I ran to Harbor Freight, got some latex gloves just to help keep my hands a little cleaner, some scrub brushes. I got white lithium grease at AutoZone, and some brake clean. It's gonna help us clean everything up. I'm gonna go ahead and get some old cardboard and newspaper and stuff to lay down to help catch all the stuff that drops off when we're cleaning this up. So I'll be right back. Alright. So this little round guy on your brake pliers is made for taking these springs off. You could also just take a pair of vice grips and grab the straight of the spring and pull the thing off. This just makes your life a little easier. You can get these things at like Harbor Freight or wherever for a couple bucks. So when you get to this point, you pull your little pin stoppers off. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this style on this Jeep. Normally they're little round spring-loaded guys, but these are just little spring clips that hold these little dowels in place that come from the back, hold your shoes in place. Once you're at this point, you can take the whole thing down, we're going to take this apart, clean up the threads and everything on this little star wheel, and then lubricate it up with that white lithium. Spray all this down with brake clean, scrub it down, and put it all back together. See, I got this guy out of there. Go ahead and take it apart. This little cup comes off. Scrub everything down really well, get all the rust and gunk and grime off of it. And we'll lube it up with some white lithium. Put everything back together. White lithium grease. Put a little bit on. Don't want a whole bunch of this stuff floating around because it gets in onto your braking surfaces. Could be bad news. A little bit will help lubricate it up and keep it functioning well. A little dab on this guy too, so that it can freely spin. Everything lubed up, much better than it was. I'll spray down this backing plate, scrub it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if we can be putting these brakes back together with these wheel cylinders. They look like absolute garbage. That's not good. So, looks like we'll go ahead and order some and put those in tomorrow. So we'll just finish cleaning this up for today. See how it goes from there. Alright, well that's where we'll leave it for today. I'll go ahead and call the parts store and get those cylinders ordered up because these things are totally trashed. Curious to see what the front ends look like though. I'll go clean up the other side and probably pick up tomorrow. Alright, I got both sides all cleaned up. Like I said, I'm going to have to order those parts, get some new wheel cylinders in, so that'll have to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and climb under and do an oil change right now. Call it good for the day. Day one in the books, the new Jeep. What should we name her? Any ideas? Leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.